Hey guys, what's up? Today I want to talk about how I've read, I don't know if it's old news or not, but I hear that like a lot of YouTubers have a problem with, and a lot of players have a problem with how AJ just comes out with items like these items that used to be rare and valuable and everything, and then they come out with them and then they're worth nothing. Like basically you have something that you think is awesome, like uh an AJ play wild, like some valuable items, like maybe bow tie or um like lay is good. Like the scary horns that I'm wearing are pretty good. I mean, they're not like up there with those two, but they're like pretty good items. And like they're these rare items that haven't come back for a while, and everyone likes them. So apparently, AJ browser comes out with like has been coming out with all these rares, and I think recently, or I don't even know how recently, but they came out with a bunch of these items that used to be like top tier rares or betas, and so kind of like destroyed trading. Besides with headdresses and spikes and stuff, even though you can get spikes from the Forgotten Desert pretty easily, but I kind of want to say there's like I think what they're doing is pretty good. Like here's the thing, and I'm a big trader when it comes to AJ Play Wild, so I kind of know what they're saying. I mean, I know it's not the same here. They don't really come out with those items, but there's a chance for any of these items to come out. I mean, just over April Fool's Day, two items that were really valuable came out, and they were shoe antlers or something like that, and silly glasses, which were really rare items, and they came out again, and everyone has them now. I mean, I don't know now. It's been like a month or two, so maybe they're a little bit rare again, but nobody cares about them now because they just came out. So anyone who had those, maybe one day they declined a trade for like, I mean, I don't really know the value of them. I know they were up there, but maybe one day they trade. I'm just gonna say Black Spike. I know it's worth a lot more than was worth a lot more, but then when that followed, they couldn't get anything for that item at all. Like they couldn't even get like a spiked wristband. They probably could get like some random item from the store. But anyway, I think personally it's actually kind of a good thing that they're doing that. Like, and they probably should do it on AJ Play Wild too more. Like, just come out with the items because, like, I don't know. For one thing, it gives all these players who have a lot of things like this elitist attitude. Like I noticed that a lot of them who have a lot of items, especially people who have a ton of betas, are really rude to other players who don't have a lot of stuff. Like I try to be nice. I'm usually nice unless someone's like constantly begging me and like really really annoying me, and then I just kind of like ignore them. I mean that's what I go about it as, but in the case like some of these people will just be rude, like they'll be tell them no you're not worth anything, or they'll be rude in some kind of way to be mean to the person, like oh I'm better than you because I have like bow tie or what, I don't even know, and I don't know, I don't think it's right that that's the kind of attitude that people get over these virtual items. Like what makes my character better than uh this guy right here, this not this person. I mean they have a decent, but yeah, I mean I could compare it to them. Like what makes me better just because I have scary horns doesn't really make me better than her in any way, but some people it does make them feel like they're better than these other players, and I mean for that's one thing that I don't think's right. Like people should just go about it like it's a virtual item, and I think everyone should have their own way to be able to get these items. And then I mean, I get it. Like, I personally, I'm not like a communist or a socialist. I really don't believe in that. I personally do believe in capitalism or whatever, but when it comes to a kid's game, uh, I really don't think that there should be a, like, what, a capitalist economy. I just think that the kids should be able to get what they want. They should just, it's their a game. You pay membership and then you have access to some items, and then everyone else has access to the other items. But it shouldn't be like these super rare items you get, and then, oh, now you're better than everyone else. Like, you're really not. And in fact, people who think they're better than other people, because of those items, you're actually worse. Because at least those people are somewhat humble. I mean, I know some of them aren't. You know, some of them are really annoying. But having these good items doesn't make you better than anyone else. And really, if you think that, you're an ass. I mean, you're really rude. And I don't like people who are like that. And, and, oof. Next, I just wanted to say, like I said, I'm a trader myself. I really like to trade. I mean, I can go through my things. I have a ton of items. I mean, just for spikes. I mean, I trade the spikes off like they're nothing because I just trade them off for other items. And, like, to some kids, a spike is, like, everything. I have 6 pages in it. And then I have, like, 3 other accounts with like 2 black spike collars. I mean, I have a ton of these black spike collars and other colors. And we stopped even transferring them to this account and to my friend's account because we just don't even have a use for them. But the thing is like, it doesn't matter. I mean, and I feel bad for people who are like, it's just so important to them. Like, I get it. Like, I wouldn't just give away my items either because, yeah, you do work hard for them. I get it. But 99% of the player base, or at least let's be generous and say it's 90% of the player base, doesn't care, or they just want one item to actually look good. Like, they're not going to look rare. They're going to look good. Like, let me say, one of the rarest items in this game that's for feet is, like, steel-toed boots. And those things are goddamn ugly. Those things are ugly. They are a terrible color. They're like 2 completely mismatched colors. They look terrible. Absolutely terrible. But they're extremely rare and really valuable. And people will wear them. The people who have them will wear them just because they're rare. And, I just don't get that. Like, I know you want to look rich or whatever, but it's like, who's gonna care besides someone else like you who wants to be rich? Like, I don't think Miss Kawaii Girl Guest Jammer is going to care that you're wearing these ugly boots. She's just going to think they're ugly. Likewise, I would think they were ugly. Yes, I would appreciate the fact that they were rare, but they're ugly. I don't think anyone, I mean, most people don't even recognize any of these betas. I mean, for me personally, I have Lay, which is like a huge beta too. It's worth like a Dragon Wing or something. I've been offered that on there, but the thing is that I like how it looks, but nobody cares about it. There's only a few people who actually know what the item even is. And yeah, I mean, that's how it is. And then, and actually I wanted to do another video following this up about how people are with trading and, like, considering things scams, because that's, like, a whole other story with how frustrating that can be. But, anyway, my consensus on it is really that I think people should really just accept the fact that there's these items that are going to come out. Trading is a lot of fun, I agree, but the majority of people on this game aren't traders, or they're people who don't care about items' value and they just want to play it. And if that's going to get in the way of like 10% of people or 5% of people or however many people there are, they don't care. AJ doesn't care about the small minority of traders on here, and even more the fact that I'm sure quite a good number of those traders are elitist, and I know maybe you listening to this now aren't, and I'm sure a lot of you aren't, but there are people who are like that, and you guys know that. And I'm sure there's people who are rude to you, because I'm sure there's people who have more than you do, and they're rude about it. Because there's always someone who has more. And the thing is that it just doesn't matter. It really doesn't. It's like a virtual item. Trading is fun. It's a fun pastime. It's frustrating when you lose an item. And, to quote Julian too on what he said, sometimes you can get an item that's super cool, super rare, worth hundreds of dollars, and then it's worth hundreds of gems. But are you really going to sell that item? Are you actually going to sell it? Because then you'll just end up like Scorm or whoever he was who got terminated because he sold this item. And I'm sure you don't want to sell it either. Like, it feels cool that you have an item worth money. I have another game that I play that I feel good when I get these rare items because it's like, wow, I'm adding this to my account. It's worth so much money. And these items actually won't come back. But at the same time, it's not like, it's like, oh yeah, it's worth this. But am I really going to sell it? I'm not. You can't even do that because the company doesn't want you to do that. So is it really worth selling your item to get banned? I mean, I'm going off on a tangent here, but it's just, yeah. I just think that us traders really need to deal with it. And like, I know there's not that many of us, but I know it's frustrating because I know a lot of us are probably some of the older players on AJ who are like, you know, like 12 to 16 or 12 to 18, I don't know, like that range, who are older. And they appreciate the items more and they get the game a little bit more. But the grand majority of players are people like Prince Ranger Wolf, who has round glasses. And his favorite item is probably these shutter shades that you just get from a monkey treasure hunt. He doesn't care about scary horns or lay or raccoon tail or, I mean, I'm listing items off of Play Wild because that's what I play mostly, but yeah, I mean, and look at all these. You can see all of them. I mean, look, just these new wolves and, you know, this rabbit, this person just has a spike, you know, it's not this group of rich players, and that's where the loyalty of the Animal Jam staff lies, is to these kids. They're not going to change the game for traders, and honestly, I don't think they should. So that's really going to wrap it up. I know it was like a long rant, but I just thought someone should have the counter argument on that because nobody seems to really agree that the game should really cater to the majority, and that is new players, and that's players who don't trade. And even if the majority was people who traded, you know, if that was the case, I'm absolutely sure that they would try to cater to us more. But we aren't the majority. And honestly, I'm pretty happy about that because if we were the majority, most of us wouldn't have what we do now because everyone would know and be very savvy with trading and nobody would end up trading. I mean, most of these beta accounts, probably like 90% of them who have tons of items, didn't even trade for them. I mean, I know some of them did, but most of them, they just joined in beta and they have these items now, and then they don't trade them because they never would. And, I mean, I don't even know. So take it easy, guys. Make sure to please subscribe. I love that. So take it easy. Yeah. Bye.